Hello, I'm Marc Turner. Here tonight to come and see some of the volunteers and come along to the volunteer day at RYA Scotland, and I have been lynched, which is really nice and thoughtful but totally unexpected.
Mark's history with RYA Scotland goes back 20 or more years. I think he was involved with the squad systems, he became a volunteer as well, then became a staff member, and just deeply involved with the development of RYA Scotland. Been involved in all sorts of aspects of Scottish sailing, from the charitable sector, events, various clubs.
I'm Ewan McPherson. I'm a volunteer with the Largs Sailing Club and have been for a very, very long time indeed, which is where I met Marc Turner a very long time ago indeed. Marc and I have worked together over many events and all sorts of different activities around the sailing club at Largs, as well as with RYA Scotland. Marc is somebody who has an incredibly deep knowledge of the Scottish sailing scene.
If you want to find out some information, it's definitely the person to go to.
He's a bit of an almanac.
Yeah, totally. Exactly that.
I mean, he knows everything. Almanac Marc Turner.
Coined phrase right there.
Marc Almanac Turner. Yeah.
I think if I summarise Marc in sort of one sentence, it's all about passion for Scottish sailing, boundless energy, boundless enthusiasm. Nothing's too much effort. Works late, starts early. Just absolutely gives 110% to Scottish sailing, large sailing, in any event that he's involved with, whether it's plastic yachting, whether it's just local club racing here, our festival at Largs, or on a bigger scale, these big international events where he was the official president. So huge variety.
Marc, huge congratulations on your RYA Award. You have been a fantastic ambassador for sailing in Scotland, and really from the beginning of the Ellen MacArthur Cancer Trust being based in Largs and taking young people sailing from our northern base, you have been so important, and you have given your time, you've given your enthusiasm, you've introduced us to people, and just wanted to say a huge congratulations and a massive big thank you from everybody at the Ellen MacArthur Cancer Trust.
Marc has been very deep in our sport for pretty much his entire life, certainly as long as I've known him. Marc knows, I think, everybody in the sport. He's been very generous introducing me to lots of people throughout that time, and his knowledge of all facets of our sport is second to none. But I guess the biggest thing I love about Marc is every time you see him, he's got that huge big smile on his face.
I guess Marc's positivity and just attitude to get out there and speak to people has created many links, and that definitely has helped in getting the word of RYA Scotland out in the community.
Marc's done so much to champion Scottish sailing, to advocate for it, to protect it, to tell the amazing stories of all the people who make the magic happen, both on and off the water. And although I know he'll continue to be a part of that magic himself through his volunteer work, I hope he knows how grateful we are for everything he's done, and we're certainly going to miss him.
Marc has been such an ambassador for Largs, for the marina, for the sailing club in its early years. And I think through his photography, he's really showcased all the best of Largs, the Yacht Haven, the club, the event facilities, this great sailing area that we have.
A still picture can really capture a lot, and so when working with a number of charities, so I've got my Ellen MacArthur hat on today, they make a massive difference for young people, where they maybe only be on a trip for a week, but then actually some of the things they do in the trust is produce books using the photographs of their trip so that they can take them away with them. I've seen it with youth workers, where they can take those pictures of a young person on a boat, and then that will be sitting there on their desk or on their mantelpiece or wherever it is in their home, and they can look at that and say, you know, I did that. or they can reflect on it as a youth worker and say, well, you did that, you know, if you did that, you can apply that to other areas of life. And I think that's been a really valuable lesson for me on the power of imagery and how that can really help convey and remind people what they've achieved and also what they can achieve when they've got that knowledge.
3 words for Mark. I would say generous with his time, enthusiastic, and great.
Inspirational, enthusiastic, energy and passion, like a million miles an hour. Sounds like he's been on the double espressos.
Fun, friendly, and curious.
Thank you very much. This is a complete surprise. I'm really quite taken by this whole thing. These are a nice little marker just to let people know that they've had an impact, and you've certainly let me know I've made an impact today. And I'm really touched, so thank you very, very much. And to all the team I've worked with and all the volunteers who are here today at our Volunteer Day, a massive thank you, because they're all the people who are making the impact. And if I've reflected that in a few pictures or given a few ideas, that's great. It just spreads it wider. So thank you very much.